opportunity to thank our sponsors for In the City con Christi. And today we have Urbe University, La Ceiba Tire Shop, and Elite Press Dry Cleaners. Thank you for investing in the greatest place to live, work, learn, and play, Doral. Hello, Doral. Welcome back to another episode of In the City con Christi. We're back for the third season. We have incredible guest lineups for you this season. We're going to learn about all the incredible people that make up the greatest place to live, work, learn, and play, Doral and around, because they're not all technically from Doral. But we thought, what a great way to talk about or to learn from people from Miami-Dade County and people that really do make Doral what it is. So today I have a guest with me that many of you know, probably more than me. We have a good friend in the house, and we have Enrique Santos.
Yeah. It's so nice to be here. This is amazing.
I know. It's great. I'm so happy to have you. This is exciting
to be here, and congratulations on your podcast.
Thank you.
And congratulations on your tenure as mayor.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Great work in the city of Doral.
Thank you. I very much enjoy it. Public service to me is a passion. You gotta love it, that's for sure. And we're gonna talk about that career and how you do what you love and how you can even transition, right? We'll talk about that. But yes, I absolutely love this. And the podcast is just a great way to connect with the community and also introduce people in the community. And maybe some know and don't know how they got there. Or maybe some people don't know the incredible people that make up Doral and Miami-Dade County. We've expanded. We started with just people from Doral, but we decided to expand because I think it's important. And while you may not be directly from Doral, you definitely spend a lot of time here.
Yes, I do. I spend a lot of time talking to Doral.
That's true.
A lot of my listeners and followers live in the awesome city of Doral.
Yeah, you've got an incredible following and captured audience. I told you today, vamos a hacer Spanglish, porque aquí vamos a hacer un poco de español, inglés. Enrique es de la casa, parte de la familia. So, Enrique, you've been raised here in Miami-Dade County, but you weren't born in Miami-Dade.
Correct. I was born in Chicago, raised in Miami.
Yeah. Cuban parents.
Cuban parents, both mom and dad.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit, when you decided to get into radio, that's not where you initially started.
No, as a kid, I wanted to become a police officer. As a kid, I became then a police explorer and then a dispatcher right out of high school. Mm-hmm. And then I got hired as a police officer. And then working as a police officer, one day listening to the radio station that I listened to, I called in I wanted to know the name of a certain album of an artist that I was listening to then. And the guy that picked up the phone was the program director. We became friends. He needed somebody on the weekends.
Oh, wow.
He put me on. He liked what he heard. I liked what I did. He ended up offering me then a full-time job. So I left then full-time police work to do full-time radio, but I always stayed on as a reserve police officer,
which is great, and we're gonna discuss that too. But I mean, who would have thought you have a radio voice? Yeah. How would you have never thought to be on the radio?
Again, and thank you. Yeah. I don't practice old radio voice. It's very natural, It's not like the tiempo de nuestra abuela where los locutores hablaban así, Yeah. I never. That wasn't really ever me. I always enjoyed and respected comedy, radio. Entertainment, movies, but I never imagined making a career out of it. I always just wanted to become a police officer, but destiny, gave me a path.
Yeah.
And so I traded my police car for a microphone.
And the great thing is that you've used that platform to continue impacting the community through your social work. And a part of that has been law enforcement.
100%.
So tell us, what's your connection to law enforcement? Why do you love it so much? Why is it important to you?
As a kid, I was always fascinated by police work, and I had an encounter early on when I was a young man, and I did something I wasn't supposed to do. Challenged by my friend to throw rocks at a car, and we hit a car, and it was a challenge. But we didn't really take into consideration what was going to happen.
Yeah. What were the consequences?
The consequences were that the guy hit the brakes, and I remember him screaming, "You effing kids, and I'm going to kill you," and that led to then the police showing up, and I remember my encounter with a police officer who found me and said, "Were you the kid that threw that rock at the car?" And I was honest with him, and he was very honest with me and told me, you can go to jail for this. Someone could have gotten hurt with this. I was like 8, 9, 10. Where's your mother? Where are your parents? At home. And I remember him taking me and taking me home to my mom and telling mom what I did. And that in exchange with that one police officer, really, through the years, I realized he could have pursued me, but he decided to take me home.
Right.
And I guess, or he wanted to meet my parents. He met my mom, and he realized obviously that I came from a good household, good upbringing. I just made a stupid decision.
Yeah.
But he made the right
You're being a kid.
being a kid. And sometimes we don't measure the consequences. It was an innocent type of a thing. We didn't take into consideration what was really happening. But I guess now that you ask me and I think about it, that led me to admire police officers and police work. My uncle then became a Florida Highway Patrol, a trooper, and I remember playing with his sirens and the lights when I was a kid in his car. And then I got involved in the Police Explorer program, and from the Police Explorer program, I then became a dispatcher right out of high school, and out of high school then to the police academy.
Yeah.
I admire police work. I think it's they're doing God's work. The men and women who wear the uniform today under crazy circumstances and very violent.
Different worlds.
It is a different world.
Yeah. And now as a reserve officer, a lot of people don't know what a reserve officer is. It's basically someone who leaves the force, could be retired or leaves the force, but then continues to want to leave. It's like a retired license with a law enforcement agency, and they're required to do a certain amount of hours to leave that license active, right?
Absolutely. So you have we're certified by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, held to the same standards and training as any full-time officer, just that we are volunteer officers. We do it for free.
Yeah. I love it. It's great. It's a great way in the community to connect to, I think, I may be wrong actually, but I think Shaquille is also a reserve.
Shaquille is also.
Because he did it here in Doral at one time. He was really good friends with our former chief, and he came a couple of times. He would come to our events, and it was a great way to connect also and humanize policing and have that community policing outlook, which I'm very big on.
And that's actually what I continue to do.
Yeah.
Not only does it feel great to give back to, the city that I was born in, in this awesome county, but to also lead by example. Again, I was a young man as a police explorer, and it's one of the best decisions I ever made in my life because it molds you, it teaches you discipline.
I thought you did it to get into the pig roast.
I'm a terrible cook. I'm a horrible cook. I mean, though Doral the pig roast for este es el segundo año consecutivo, hija. Ustedes han hecho trampa.
No, ¿qué?
Yes.
¿Qué trampa?
Yes, you guys bring a professional chef, and
No. Don't hate the player, hate the game. Don't hate the. We're just smart. That's all.
Right, Doral has been very smart. You guys have cooked a good.
You see my trophy there?
I see trophies. Yeah,
the chief gave me one.
You must be nice.
Yeah, I wasn't there. I wasn't there this past year because I happened to be on vacation the weekend of the pig roast, but I will be there this year.
It's a
it is a great.
You see the community come together, not just law enforcement, but also our fire personnel,
yeah,
and also community leaders and the businesses that respect and understand law enforcement, and we bring everybody together with pig roast. It's a lot of fun.
I would say we're really lucky in Miami-Dade. Estamos bendecidos aquí because here people still do respect the police. We really do respect. I feel like our communities have their back, right? They encourage us to make sure we give them all the tools and everything needed, as it should be, right?
It should be. The majority of people in law.
So you can't have a good community without law and order.
So you have to have. Tiene que haber orden y respeto de la autoridad. Now, the majority of people that are in law enforcement are good.
Yeah.
People, good hearts,
like everything.
Career professionals that want to do good and want the community to do good and truly want to serve. Unfortunately, there's bad apples.
Of course. Pero eso en todo, exactly. And everything.
But I get community that if they have a bad apple to raise their hand.
Absolutely.
And move forward to, so that they could, they can affect that change, not just complain.
Yeah.
Or, be bitter about things.
I'm 100% in agreement. Yeah. Well, thank you. Gracias for doing that and for continuing to stay active and being a strong advocate for police work and for our officers because, like you said, it's a different world and they need it. And we're very blessed here in Miami-Dade and Doral, but a lot of other places are not. And so I think it's our job to kind of make sure that we carry that on to our children and future generations, the importance of that respect that our parents taught us. Okay, in my day, yo le faltaba respeto a un policía o alguien con autoridad y ni digas nada. My mom was...
Claro, it's at home.
Yes.
Were you raised on there with a chancleta?
Yes.
Fear of the chancleta?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I think we all have fear of la chancleta. Yeah, fear of la chancleta. No, but my mom and my parents, I was also very good. But yes, absolutely. I know that's something that we need to continue to instill in our children is, a little bit of making sure that they respect people in authority. So it's good.
Difficult too, understanding, where, a lot of people work 2-3 different jobs to try
Yes.
and men
It's a different world.
to meet, and there's a lot of single parents, men and
Yeah.
women, that, that have to wear the mom and dad hat
Yeah.
simultaneously. So it's rough sometimes, but you have to dedicate time to that. That's why I think programs like the Police Explorer program is so good.
Yes,
Right.
we have the Police Explorer program, and we've had several students that have actually become police officers after.
I get so happy when I see the Doral Police Department, Miami-Dade County, and the city of Miami as well. When you see young men and women that I meet and that are part of our Explorer program, and then to see them graduate the police academy, and then to see them working the roads, and to see them become professional men and women and great police officers. Fantastic.
Definitely. So going into your radio career, you got very popular because te atrevías a hacer unas cosas cómicas, pero bastante atrevida. Yeah. For not being someone who wanted to go into the industry, te vino bien natural. Maybe. It was very natural.
Yes, well, bueno, esa jarana también, esa chispa, la tengo también de mi abuelo, que en paz descanse. He just passed away a couple weeks ago. And my dad también siempre fueron personas que le gustaba hacer chiste y turn negatives into positives.
Yeah.
So I always grew up with that flavor, right? And that swag. So I've been doing prank calls, innocent prank calls where I'd call my abuelas and my tíos and my vecinos and primos and stuff. And my best friend and I would sit around with the yellow pages. There was something actually before Google and all that. Was the yellow pages.
I remember.
That?
Of course, I remember.
Y ahí aparecía el teléfono de todo el mundo, businesses and residences.
But that was a big thing back in our day too, was the crank calls. Right. So we all used to do them.
Yep. Oh, you too?
Oh, we all used to do them. It was the funny thing to do. It's not funny anymore, kids. Don't do that.
It's funny.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
10 and 910 at the Enrique Santos morning show on 94.9. It's very fun.
Espérate, you did one the other day to, que you said you said a bunch of mayor's names. Everybody sent it to me. Que llamaste a Emilio Estefan. He was so nice.
Emilio's a sweetheart.
Y pobrecito, he was so nice. Like, yo igual le hubiera colgado a la gente. Yo decía, ay, Dios mío, qué pena. Emilio debe decir, ¿quién es Christi Fraga?
Él sabe quién tiene, quién no conoce a la alcaldesa de Doral. So, Hialeah acaba de celebrar su 100 aniversario. Yeah. Entonces, Emilio hizo la canción oficial.
You know what's funny? Acabamos de hacer una canción de Doral. Lo voy a lanzar en algún momento. Ya. So it's funny,
yo también. Tienes que dejar de escuchar la canción. Llamé a Emilio, me hice pasar dije que estaba llamando a la ciudad de El Doral, que la alcaldesa Christi Fraga me había dado el teléfono.
Hilarious, Lord.
Queríamos que Emilio, como hizo la canción de aniversario de Hialeah, también hiciera la canción oficial del Doral, y lo llamamos también como la ciudad de Opaloca y del condado y varias diferentes, y entonces empezaron a llamar diferentes personas que querían que le hiciera una canción para los 15 de la hija.
I heard. Bueno, I put it on my social media. I shared it.
You shared it.
But is that your voice? It's not your voice, pero es tú diciéndolo y es como algo que lo cambia la voz.
Yo hago varias voces.
Okay.
Uso unos aparatos con la tecnología que tenemos, porque, bueno, yo conozco, Emilio es el padrino de muchas personas, incluyendo el mío. Eso, Emilio me reconoce la voz, aparte que yo le he hecho muchas veces en conjunto también con su hija, con Emily, que quiero un montón, a él, a Gloria. Emilio es una persona que respeto muchísimo. Recuerdo que cuando comencé en la radio, al principio, al final de los 90, al principio de los 2000, cuando yo apenas comenzaba, una de las primeras personas que me aconsejó fue Emilio. Y él me dijo, Enrique, hay tantas personas que nos dividen a nosotros los latinos. Usa tu plataforma, usa ese micrófono para hacer cosas positivas, para unir nuestra gente. Y fue uno de los mejores consejos que alguien me ha dado.
He's great. Él es fabuloso. And I thought it was really funny. Él fue súper educado y humilde. It was, it's like, I'm really busy. I can't do it right now, but I thought it was funny, but that's great. Tell me what has been your most memorable or most favorite prank call that you did that you're like, wow, this was.
I mean, the ones that end funny, where people will have a good time.
They all end funny.
I try to, sometimes people get extremely upset, and then you have to explain to them, hey, it was a joke.
Yeah.
Most people understand that, they get it, and it's all in good.
It's all in good fun.
It's all in good fun.
Yeah.
To have a good time and to put ponerle una sonrisa on whoever's listening at that moment.
The most famous story,
sure was Fidel Castro.
Yeah.
And the Hugo Chavez, the presidential prank calls for sure.
Yeah. That's
Those are historical.
I know.
Yeah.
How did you get to them
It's
there?
a lot easier than people think. It's
Really?
easier actually to get Fidel Castro on the phone call than it was to get Hugo Chavez on the phone call. And how do we do it? Very easily, just on the internet, getting the phone number. Well, in caso de Hugo Chavez, we just went online and looked for the number del Palacio Miraflores in Caracas, Venezuela, and the actual number came up. And then we had Fidel Castro's voice recorded, and we were able to fool the people that answered the phone to think that it was, that it was Fidel on the phone, because we had a Fidel's actual voice, but in different aided that voice. So you could fool somebody, but then it would lose a little bit of the swing, and you'd pick up because a lot of phrases would then get repeated.
Yeah.
And that's how we got Hugo Chavez on the line. And then at that call, from the Hugo Chavez call recorded, we cut up Hugo Chavez's voice
And got
to then call Cuba.
That is, classic.
That was classic.
Classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
Put us on the map.
Yeah, no, for sure. I know it did. Yeah,
for sure.
That's great. Well, thanks for sharing all of that. I have a question for you. A lot of times we get young viewers and people that follow and our students, and I always love to be able to impact our youth. Any advice for someone who is looking to start in this career? It's a tough career. Entertainment is hard. It's hard. But there's incredible talent out there.
Absolutely.
What advice do you have for someone young who is really interested in getting in this career path?
Well, number one, whether it be this career or any other career that you're considering, don't do it for the money.
Yeah.
Don't do anything for money. Do it because you're passionate about it. Yeah. Do it because this is your calling, because you feel for it, because you wake up every morning and you see it. That would be number one. Do it for the right reason.
I am 100% in agreement with that.
And then number two, find somebody that's doing that well, or a group of people that are doing that well. And it's not to imitate them, but use that as a north.
Yeah.
To, kind of mold and create your own path, and do it your way. And then number three, I would say, don't be afraid to challenge yourself. Don't be afraid to, try to open doors that may get shut, or something that you might think is impossible. Nothing's impossible, especially in this amazing country that has opened its arms to so many immigrants like my parents and my grandparents. And I was born here thanks to the fact that, the United States opened its arms to as they were fleeing communism. And like so many people that are in that situation still today in Cuba, in Venezuela, in Nicaragua, that are fleeing dictatorship and looking for freedom that I practice, that you practice every day in this amazing country. And I would say, don't take things for granted. We live in the most amazing country in the planet. I've traveled the world and I love traveling, and there's amazing countries, but the United States is the place to be. Where else can we speak our minds? Where else can we run for public office and have young mayors like yourself?
Yeah.
And at the same time, simultaneously run an amazing city like El Doral, can have an amazing podcast where you're reaching so many different other generations and people. And so, follow your dreams. You have all the possibilities here. Now, don't be waiting for other people to do you favors, because nobody's going to do you a favor. If you don't like something, if it's not happening fast enough, get up off your butt, get on your feet, and make it happen yourself, because you can do it.
100%. Yes. I could not agree with all of that more.
You guys have great coffee here.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Well, we really appreciate you being here. I hope you had a good time. I hope you enjoy our city. You come on. I know you're always talking with our police officers and our chief too, and have a great relationship. But come join us.
I love your police officers. I love the city of Doral.
Doral's growing tremendously. There's a lot of great opportunity here, great businesses. So you're always welcome to come and hang out and join us. Maybe come and do a reserve with us for a little bit too one day.
Wow, thank you.
Am I going to get you in trouble?
I say thank you, but Manny, my Chief Morales might get a little upset at that.
Bueno, un ratico, just move it and then you can go back, We can share. We share, right? You share.
Switch out the badge. It's easy.
Thank you, Enrique. Really, really was honored to have you. You're great. We will continue to cheer for you and continue to do great things. I always say, just to close out, I always say that to me, media is a public service as well, because it's really important what you all do. And I know you make it light and fun and entertaining, but there's still a huge service in what you do every single day. I can't do what I do without you. You guys can't do it without the support of the community. So I always say that we have to support each other in those things. And, and so I'm very, very appreciative of the media and what you guys do every day. So thank you. Thank you very much. All right. Well, that was another episode of In the City con Christi. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to follow along. Again, great new guests that we'll have. Doral is growing and has incredible people here to be able to continue to do great things. So stay tuned for more on how we continue to make Doral the greatest place to live, work, learn, and play. Thanks. Bye.